Michael, a similar question to you. So, for example, Fireblocks kind of transform how custody services are provided, plus building an enterprise platform with it. Similar kind of thing we are doing with Unido. So we are addressing issues like corporate governance. We are addressing issues like with the self-custodial wallet. Again, we had this discussion in the previous unit talk also, where we are, I mean, the custody services are also, again, pondering self-custody versus locked custody. So seeing our product suite, seeing Fireblocks product suite, maybe generalizing it, like what do you think how these DeFi products, custody services, asset management services, they can be transformed or they can be slightly changed so that they cater to the demands of financial institutions?
Look, at the end of the day, financial institutions are like other institutions, that there's a level of sophistication for their decision making. So the approval process, for instance, if you have a margin loan in prime brokerage and you're going to release assets, it's not one person that will hand the assets over. There's various subsystems, electronic subsystems, which provide data input, whether the account's collateralized appropriately or reads into what the covers are required, and so that you don't breach covenants. So there's multiple steps, and there's multiple subsystems. Then there's natural persons that will make decisions. There are multiple steps to get into a decision to move an asset. And this comes back to multi-party computational models like Fireblocks, like Unido, where if you can remove the middleman, at the end of the day, that's what DeFi is, right? Removing the middleman, removing individual choke points. So having the idea of fragmented keys, for instance, that's using a technological solution to match how institutions work. And this is very important. We touched. Don't try to tell institutions you need to rewrite your business to be involved in crypto. We need to find very smart technological solutions to mean crypto is accessible to institutions. MPC is a great example. Fireblocks, I mean, we've talked about them previously. We've done comparisons with them. We're very big fans. We went in the same style of business with them, as them rather. So there's these sorts of pioneers that are identifying that organizations are different. Let's build solutions around them. And then there's smart solutions which are crypto-centric. Hypersign, one of our partners, is a similar one with the digital ID for KYC process. At the end of the day, it's accepting that KYC is important. Identifying someone on-chain is important. So using the idea of a token with an ID attached to it is an on-chain solution for an off-chain requirement. So again, it's clever solutions which are either working and adapting crypto to work with off-chain providers or fiat providers, or working from the other way in, accepting this regulation and providing on-chain solutions to it. But I think it's just my takeaway from all of this, and I always keep coming back to it, is the solutions need to work with how these institutions work today. And they're not going to shift their business and instead of issuing credit cards or online banking, hand out thumb drives, right? It's not going to happen. So the solutions need to meet how their fiat banking works today. So that's what's important with the providers like Fireblocks that have been doing it. I think 2018 they kicked off, and they've been around. Unido, of course, we started at the start of the year. It is just bridging this gap. And there's still a gap, and that's what we're building, of course, at Unido. But that's just custody. There are gaps left, right, and centre, and there's new projects popping up. And some hit the mark, some have an interesting way. It's changed a bit, which is important because it leads to innovation too. Regulations will change and innovate. So having some projects which lead the way and do things a little bit differently, if there's gains in efficiency or for whatever reason they choose to do a different way to how fiat is conducted, for instance, fiat transacting, that pushes innovation too. Then we've got the lobbyists who sit with the regulator and say, you know, X, Y, and Z works to map crypto regulation similar to fiat, but hang on, there's Z, and this is a new way of doing it. And this is why blockchain is so powerful, because you sort of reimagine everything from the ground up. And that's what's exciting. So if you combine the service providers building the interface for institutions to work with crypto, and then the innovation factor, that's where we get exciting, and that's where crypto comes first and fiat will come second.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this is going to be very much the title of this entire webinar when I'm going to upload. But yes, what Jonathan said, we are shifting from revolution to evolution. The two industries are shaking hands, and the moral of the story is, yeah, let's work together. If you want adoption, at a very massive scale, we have to shake hands. That's the right path.